Hi everybody, I'm Tony Burgos and I am your peer in our class Leadership Development, and this is my project one of my selected leader to be submitted this Friday or Saturday, I believe. The person that I'm interviewing, his name is Nicholas Pascucci, and he will share with you his history, and we're gonna learn a lot of interesting things. We'll get this started. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Nick, for taking time out from your busy schedule. I personally know that you're very busy. You're working on your PhD, you're a director at Nova University, and you have a very big staff that you're supervising. And so I want to say thank you so much for being with us tonight.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about your history?
I served 23 years in active duty, U.S. Coast Guard. I retired in 2014. I did a short stint in education where I was a teacher. Realized that it's not the path I originally wanted to go. And then I took a position at Nova Southeastern University at an entry level to complete my master's degree. And since I've been there 5 years, I've moved up to from manager to director. Now I'm the director of military affairs and the liaison for the Army ROTC program at Nova University.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Can you share with us a little bit what you do specifically for Nova or what you have accomplished there?
Yeah, right now at Nova, I was responsible for bringing the Army ROTC to Nova. We started as just a commitment school, but now we're the central hub in South Florida and South Southern Command. We started with just 5 students, and we're up to over 100 and going into our 3rd year.
Why is leadership important to you?
Leaders are, when we look at leaders, we look for inspiration. As a leader, you have to toe the line. You can't, no longer is it do as I say. You have to lead by example. I think you, as a leader, you're an inspirer. You look to inspire. And
Awesome. And how would you describe your leadership style?
Well, my style is more of a servant leader. I think that is where I've come, what I've picked up. First, I look for empathy, look to seek to understand and provide the resources that people need so they can be successful.
What behaviors did you have to avoid or give up in order to become the leader that you are today?
When I was younger, I think it was more of being an active listener, to actually listen to what they were saying, not jump out and say where I need to be, where you need to be, and do that, and come from a place, seek to understand first, and then seek to guide. When you can put yourself and show that empathy that I've been in your shoes, that's usually where we've all been there.
The question is, who has been your biggest influence to move toward your path of leadership?
There's quite a few people that have. I've had some leaders in the military that have really taken me under their wing and provided me the guidance that I needed to get to the next level in my career early on. I've also had, in the military side, I've also had some terrible leaders where I've actually learned a lot from poor leadership in terms of what I've learned what not to do, what didn't work, what was a demotivator. So you look to steer away from those pitfalls so that you don't fall into that rut.
And how long have you been with Nova that you accomplished all of this?
6 years now.
So just to touch on, I guess, a personal aspect and just becoming a better leader. How connected is your health style, your lifestyle in respect to health and your leadership abilities?
Health is extremely important. Like health without wealth is like wealth without health is like selling your car for gas money. It makes no sense, So if if you're not going to live a healthy lifestyle, you're going to fall to the pitfalls of being unhealthy, not feeling well, and performing at your best nature. So, the military has instilled, health and well-being. I think health and well-being goes along with morale and how you basically feel about yourself and how you pertain to others. So I think they pretty much go hand in hand.
Okay, wonderful. Thank Thank you for sharing that. I just know that it's important to you, and I know that it should be something that we as leaders begin to think about: our mental health, our emotional health, our financial health, and just health physically, of course. Search, which is, can you tell us in a quick way, what are the differences between being a military leader and being a corporate or academic leader? The significant point, yeah.
Stepping stones in terms of moving forward, definitely the transition from military life to civilian life. Though I felt like I was always in the community from my coaching standpoint, I didn't think my transition was going to be as difficult as it was in the beginning. It's basically taking something that you've done for over 20 years in your life and then relearning simple things like answering a corporate email or responding to a corporate email as opposed to responding to a military email. The way we write is more technical and direct and to the point with less fluff in between it, and sometimes that could be taken brunt or not well received, and that's not what you want, nor was that the intention. That's how I was basically trained to write in the military. So learning those little things and learning how to navigate in the civilian sector was definitely a significant transfer. And I saw as I got better at navigating in these situations, it definitely bolstered my career in terms of putting me out there.
And how long have you been with Nova that you accomplished all of this?
I'm coming on 6 years now.
So that's a short period of time to have been recognized. It's likely you already had all the strengths that you needed when you came on board.
The one thing I will say is I've never been one to shy away from the stage or the spotlight. So when those opportunities come, I'm always ready to go, because those are the platforms that are the audience that you need to be in front of. So I don't have any fear. Like, I don't have any fear to speak in front of anybody, to discuss tough topics, to do any of those things. And I think sometimes that's what sets me apart from other people. I don't want to.
What are the differences between being a military leader and being a corporate or academic leader? The significant.
I will tell you, 10 years ago in the military, it was a vast difference. It was more where people were, they barked the orders and you did it mindlessly. With the change in the generations, with going from baby boomers to Gen X to the millennials and now Gen Z, when you provide the purpose of why, you're going to find that you have the buy-in. So us as leaders, we always got to keep evolving. You can't just stop and say, well, I'm good, I'm just going to stay here. You have to continuously evolve as a leader and grow. And as the generations change, things are going to change, and your leadership style has to adapt for you to be effective. And that's where I've seen the change in military leadership come from more of an authoritarian to a servant leader, as well as a coach. I'm like the combination because of my coaching background. I think mentorship is essential, whether it's in corporate, whether it's in your personal life.
I'm not sure if you can recall, but we had a discussion a few weeks back when I told you I had started this class. And I know that you had given me at that point like an analogy of how you see working with people from other departments. Do you recall that? So, do you think you could reiterate a little bit your strategy with working with people, in particular departmentally?
Well, one thing, like I would say, whenever you're coming into a new environment, whether it's cultural differences or this, it's I think the term is frame shifting. Frame shifting is how you can adapt to a different situation, how well you can adapt. Come from a servant side is like, how can I provide you the resources to get this done? How can we do this? And as a leader, you have to understand, even if I'm above somebody, if there's somebody that is stronger, let's say in technology than I am, there's nothing wrong with being able to defer that part of the project to them and let them know that I'm going to you because you're the expert and they're buying into this big picture. And when you can get that as a leader, that's what we're trying to do, is through communication, through sharing our vision and our objectives, is feel that you're a part of this and we're going to move forward. And that's really what has been my most successful trait, is really getting the buy-in, whether it's my department or collaborating with other departments, to really come together and make something happen.
Okay, thank you so much. We're almost finished, so I want you to know that. I think we have like 4 questions left. I'm wondering, would you like to take a sip of water?
No, I'm good.
Okay. When you compare how you were as a leader early on in your career, perhaps your military, what would you tell your current leader? So,
Definitely tell myself to seek to understand first, is to come from more of a place of empathy and understanding that wherever you, whatever you're disciplining or doing, you were there at one point in your career. You're not looking to get the answer first. You're already assuming, you're already out there and you're putting out, and that puts people on the defense. You don't really want to get people on the defense, because once they become defensive, and like body language would tell you, if people are crossing their arms and they're avoiding eye contact, pretty much they have lost interest in what you're saying. So they're not really taking in what you're
they're
saying.
no longer buying.
Right. So it all comes down to communication. And when you have open lines of communication, then it's easier to seek to understand, or to really have an understanding.
What are some of your greatest career achievements, and what role did your teams and staff play in you becoming that?
Well, I mean, there's been a few. The distinguished medals that I have been awarded have never been done by me alone. It came from a team that provided either support. So having a staff that supports you, having colleagues that support you is extremely important. And, you have to do the same. You can't just be the one that everybody's supporting. You have to come down when your time comes to show them the support and show. So
in closing, if I were to ask you to just give us your gems as a leader, like let us walk away with maybe 3 things that you would say as a leader, make sure you...
Transparent, display high integrity, and seek to understand and be empathetic. Those would be the 3.
Wow. Thank you very much, Nick.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate your time. I know you are very busy, and we all appreciate what we've learned from you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Right.